Welcome everyone to our awesome strawberry video. What I'm going to be doing today is taking some of these extra little pots that I've got here, left over from various things that I've bought. I'm going to be taking some of this cheap as chips compost. Got a little bit of tie white and some snips there. I'll explain that in a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rehome all of these little strawberries. So as you can see, I've just pulled one up here, and some of them have some pretty impressive root structures already. Others, there we go, there's a good one. Others will just have little bits like this. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to pop them up. So what I've got here is just these little pots filled with our very inexpensive compost, and this stuff's perfect for strawberries. I mean, it's, as you can see, it's quite coarse, loads of bark through there, and strawberries will love that. It might not be ideal for everything, but it's really, really great for this, and as I said, really inexpensive. Then what we're going to do is select a runner. We'll go for this guy here. Oh, as you can see, the little one at the end there has gone through a piece of bark himself. Very little root structure. If we follow along, get a little bit more of a root structure, and we'll grab that one out in a moment. Now, the reason that I'm showing you on the runner is because you will see the plants get smaller and smaller further away from the mother plant. And as we go in, if I follow that same one, now this is quite a big plant, so I'll give him a bit of a tug. Ooh, it's really well stuck in there. That's cool. There we go. So that's quite well established, really. Oh yeah. So there's no way that I'm going to fit him into our tiny little 6-pack pots. So what I might do then is actually cut these smaller two away. What I'm going to do is just take my kitchen scissors, turn gardening scissors, and remove that. So now we've got these two wonderful plants still attached via the runner. I'm going to just poke a hole in there, trying to push the soil to the side as opposed to straight down, and very simply pop them in there and push that soil back around. Very gently, doesn't need to be hard, and we'll do the same thing for his little buddy. Hey little buddy. I'm going to take that off to make my life easier. Hope he wasn't partial to that little piece of bark. Just while they're getting started, we'll give them as much help as we can. Speaking of, this is where my little staples come back into play. So I've made these out of the tie wire that I mentioned earlier, and I've just snipped it to random lengths. I didn't measure it or anything, and I'm just using them to pin these plants down. Now, obviously try to do it without damaging the roots as much as possible. Something like this bigger plant might not need it. You could probably use, compacting the soil to keep the plant in place. But this smaller plant with less root structure will really benefit from it. Now, because we've finished with this chunk of runner, I'm going to cut that. He can go, but I am going to leave them attached between here. The runner, a little bit like an umbilical cord, is a great way for each of these plants to swap nutrients. Which either will ensure that both plants live, or if one plant is going to die, then the bigger of the plants will probably just suck all the nutrients through. But again, just ensuring that at least there is some survival. Leap forward some amount of time. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I started making the strawberry video, and I'll be completely honest, I've pretty much lost passion for this project, partially because it was a hugely laborious task to pot up all of these teeny tiny strawberries, and as you can tell just through here, they are spreading faster than I can pop them. Probably would be a little less of a challenge without the girls chasing me around, but that's okay, my little quote-unquote helpers. What I'm thinking for this space though is I'm actually going to take the strawberries out of here. The reason that I put them in initially was to have some greenery along the fence line. They make great companion plants, etc., and just obviously something fun for the girls. So I'll probably relocate a whole lot that are against the fence. Might leave a few. I'll probably give away everything that I have potted up. I've already given away quite a few and they just keep coming back. They're amazing plants. What I'm thinking is I'd quite like to give the space to these orange berries. Now, their foliage is beautiful. The berries apparently are similar in aesthetic to a raspberry, but orange and taste like orange cordial. At least that's what the packet said when I bought the plant. Also, they are more of a ground cover as opposed to the strawberries. You can see the orange berry is at ground level, the strawberries are substantially taller. So my thinking is that I cut these orange berry plants up a wee bit. Because they're a ground cover, they root at every node as they go, so they're pretty well stuck to the ground, meaning there are quite a few bits of the plant that I can sort of dismember and relocate, if you will. And I'm going to put them through here underneath our passionfruit tunnel. I didn't realise how easy it would be to lose the passionfruit on the ground when the strawberries were fully grown. And of course passionfruits drop when they are ripe. So I'll definitely be relocating these lovely little bushes and sharing the joy with other families, other children, but they can't stay here. So I thought I would just show you guys. I have already cut this, but that's how it was sitting, and as you can see, as a wonderful ground cover, it does just root at each node, but only the more mature stems, branches, whatever you want to call them, are ready to be taken. So these ones here haven't actually been growing along the ground and therefore haven't rooted. I'm not going to cut them off, unlikely they'll survive. But this guy here is doing really quite well. Just quickly showing you how I'm planting them as well, because they have such delicate roots, unlike the strawberries. What I'm doing is just sort of putting them in sideways like so, and then I am pushing that dirt up against the roots to sort of cover them in this way, and then I'll redisperse the mulch. Jumping forward another couple of weeks to check in on how our orange berries are going, and unfortunately the dogs dug up a couple of the smaller ones. Now, referring back yet again to our wonderful LITFA principle, I'm not going to be digging that up because there's still some signs of life, so it can stay there and we'll see what happens. Some of the larger pieces that I've taken that had a bit more of a root structure have taken nicely, and even showing some new growth, which is really cool. But again, it's looking a little bit dry. I'll give him some water. Yeah, looking really good. Happy with that, and I think they're going to look really nice through here once they are established. I have left a few strawberries in there, though if I'm honest I'm probably going to take them out. And I've still got this big stockpile over here. Loads left. If anybody in Hawke's Bay would like some of these Alpine strawberries, please flick me a message, leave a note in the comment, whatever, and we'll get some to you, because yeah, they are so fun for the girls, for the children. They are absolutely delicious for eating, and they are abundantly fruitful. So huge big fan of these, and more than happy to share. There you have it, a partially finished project. I think if we're honest with ourselves, garden projects are never truly finished. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that hopefully maybe you've learned something that you didn't already know, and by all means, if you have any advice for me or you know, tips, tricks, hints, anything like that, tell me in the comments, because I'm all for learning, and of course the collective is the best way to do that. Remember to like this video, to hit that subscribe button to support our wonderful venture, and of course so that you can keep that good information flowing. And I will see you cats on our next video.